Hangout's got to be fun to deal with all the time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of Keyboard Warriors presented by CrossBonesMMA. Of course, reptheadvocates.com. My name is Eddie Law, of course, out of Ohio. Our boy Fred Kirby and special guest. We haven't spoken. He actually has been on the show with me. Man, I want to say like fucking almost a year ago. Young Max Reed out of Thailand, joining us during. Actually, you're in the middle of like pretty much at the end of a camp, right, for a fight. So, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you coming on, dude.
Thank you, bud. Thanks for having me.
I go for it, Fred.
All right. So let's start at the beginning. First off, let's just like kind of get the outline for the episode here. Max went to Thailand about, you said like close to 3 months ago, right?
Yeah, February 15th.
Okay. Did you have any previous martial arts training at all before you went there?
About 5 lessons in England, and that's about it.
So fucking minimal.
Yeah, barely anything at all.
Okay, so we'll get into detail about all this, but the outline basically is that with no martial arts training at all, a young lad from fucking the UK went all the way to Thailand, moved there to learn Muay Thai the traditional way, and is now taking an actual fucking fight in Thailand. So, with that being said, Max, let's start this off, man. When did you actually get the idea to move to fucking Thailand to train Muay Thai? When was the impetus of the idea?
I think probably around January last year, I think was when I was just like, I need to like do something with my life. Like I was looking after my mum and shit just wasn't going well. I just thought I just wanted to do it because of like, you know, like I've been watching combat sports for so long and all that sort of stuff. And I just thought I need to, if I want to like learn it, I want to, and I'm not well traveled either. So I thought if I go to Thailand, it'll be an experience in itself, and I'll also get better at something I want to do. So yeah, probably around January, February last year.
Okay, so you get the idea to go in January or February. Now, how do you go about that, man? Did you like research gyms before you even like made your accommodations? Like you know, once you decide that you and your girl are going to go, because your girlfriend went with you, right?
Yeah, she came along.
Okay, so she's been with you the whole time. Once you guys decide that you was actually going to do it, what's the first step, man? Do you find a gym? Do you find a place to stay? Get your fucking visa? Like what was the first step to actually making this a reality?
First thing I did is just research gyms and stuff like that. Like obviously like right near me, about 10 minutes away is like Tiger Muay Thai, Phuket Top Team, Chok Chai, like so like really like famous gyms. And I just thought I don't really want to go down that route because you don't really get much one-to-one sort of tuition in gyms like that. Like obviously it's good for people like Valentina Shevchenko and all that, and like, you know, all the people that want to go there that are already pro. But for people like me that just want like beginners classes and stuff, it's not really, you know, I can't handle going into a class of 60, 70 people. And so I just did as much research as I possibly could, and like I said, just luckily found this gym, Ratachai Muay Thai, which is traditional, like really traditional. It's owned by a 3-time Lumpini champ. All their trainers have had like, you know, 300-400 fights each, and you know, it's a pretty small gym, but they're all the trainers are incredible, and I put so much emphasis on traditional training rather than want to go anywhere where, I mean, as much as I love like MMA, I just wanted straight Muay Thai. So so a lot of research went into it. Just found Ratachai. They're like super accommodating. Like I said, the gym owner's Krunai, and his wife Nit, she speaks really good English. So I just hit her up on Facebook basically and said, like, you know, I'd like to come and train next year. And there's a hotel literally right next to the gym, like the address right next to it is where I'm staying. So I don't have to like run to the gym or anything like that. And then she the gym owner's wife, he just sorted everything out for me basically, and it was all really smooth.
Okay, that's all. So is that where you're at now then, in the hotel? Is that where you guys are staying at while you're there?
Yeah, the hotel right next to it, yeah.
What's the pricing like? Like, what's the money difference? Like, what's it costing you? Is it expensive to make this whole trip happen, or is it relatively cheap to stay there while you're there?
If I wanted to go to go on holiday in Europe, like to say, I don't know, France or something for a week, it would probably cost me like £700, which is, I don't know, close to, I don't know what the exchange rate is now after Brexit, bullshit, but it's £700, £800 isn't like, it's a fair amount for a week. And for 3 months here, training and accommodation, it's cost me about £1,000.
Oh, you said £1,000?
Yeah, exactly. So a week in France would be about 700, and 3 months in Thailand with training is about 1,000.
Holy fucking shit! So yeah, it's not much at all to go there and train.
Yeah.
As far as like the accommodations of staying.
Yeah, it's all together. I paid. So I paid for the gym and the hotel. Through I paid for it through the gym. And it cost me for the gym for 3 months and the hotel for 3 months, about £900 to £1,000, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah,
okay.
Really good.
So it wasn't too, it wasn't too financially hard on you then.
No, like it took a while to save for it because obviously, like my dad probably told you I was looking after my mum and stuff, so like, I had to really, really save a lot, but it's all worth it.
Yeah, so like let's touch on that a little bit before we get to you actually getting to Thailand. Most of us that know, like that follow our podcast or know our story, know who your pops was and know that we used to run a podcast with him and that he passed away. Before all that, how did he feel about this? Did you plan on fighting ever going, or did you just want to train? And how did your pops feel about it? Obviously, I'm sure he was proud, but like, what was the conversations like with him when he knew that you was serious about doing this?
Sort of. I wanted to fight. It was all pipe dreams, really. Like, I just wanted. I was saying to myself, I'd love to fight when I got out here, all that sort of stuff. And I'm aiming to have a fight, and but I never thought it would actually happen. And my dad literally couldn't have been more encouraging about it all. Like, he was just like, go out there, do it. You've been looking after your mum. You need a break. Your sister and I will like take the reins. You can just have that 3 months off and just concentrate on yourself. If you want to stay there for the rest of your life. Like, he was so accommodating with like what I wanted to do with it. So that was his stance on it, really. He was just like, go there and stay there and don't worry about anyone else.
That's fucking perfect, man. I mean, that's exactly what you want to hear from your parent in that situation, being super supportive and, basically telling you to go for it. Fucking go have some fun and take a load off.
Exactly.
So what the fuck, Eddie? Do you think that your fucking fat Mexican ass could actually go to Thailand and fucking train? Could you make this trip?
No joke. So I muted myself, and while he was talking about 1,000 pounds on shit, I was actually cracking numbers, dude. I'm not joking. I was like, could I pull that off? I can pull it off, bro. Hey,
I tell you what, dude.
No joke. When he said it was 1,000 pounds, dude, I legit am like considering it right now.
It's so serious, worth it.
The culture shock would be a motherfucker, low key though, man. And that kind of brings me to my next point and the shit that I'm going to ask you. So once you get to Thailand and you get there, you said you haven't done much traveling abroad. Have you ever been, or had you ever been rather, to any place in Asia before this?
Never in my life. I'd never been outside of Europe. I went to Belgium once, and that was it.
I gotta say, son, you got some fucking stones on you. What? So yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that for a minute. Once you got there, obviously you're a massive fan of Muay Thai. You knew what you was going there to do. You know you're gonna have fun, even though you're gonna get your ass kicked. You knew you was gonna have fun in training and stuff like that. What has the other shit been like? What has the culture shock been like? What do you do for fun? What kind of foods are you eating? How hard was it to get used to just living in such a fucking foreign land?
Well, like I said, luckily the gym owner, his wife, she talks like really quite good English. So like if I wanted like certain things and stuff, she would help me out with that. And obviously, like I said, luckily I'm with my girlfriend as well. So it's not as daunting as it would be if I were on my own. But yeah, sort of we just sort of I'm pretty sad, really. I don't drink. I just try and train day by day, and then sort of just literally I just explore as much as I can. Like I said, I'm about 10 minutes away from Tiger Muay Thai, which is on a street called Soy Thai Ed. And that's like a really, really popular street. And I go there quite a lot. I go to Big Buddha, if you've ever heard of Big Buddha. That's pretty fun. But yes, it's sort of the culture. Like if I went to the sticks somewhere like Chiang Mai, like up north, like where it's all foresty and stuff like that, I think I'd have a bit more like, you know. But being here, it's okay. Like most people speak English, and if they don't, a smile and a nod like gets you a long way.
Okay, cool. So you're not in what some people might think of as like traditional fucking kickboxer Muay Thai movie style, where you're in the middle of the fucking jungle kicking palm trees and shit like that.
Yeah. I'm not quite in like Bangkok or anything like that. Like I said, luckily the gym is really, really traditional, and like I could be somewhere like it's not like a Jit Wang Non or Paul Pramuk or any like proper Bangkok gyms.
Okay, so now let's touch on for a second the kind of one of the major parts of your story. We touched on your pops and like kind of how he influenced your decision to like go into martial arts and stuff like that. One day, or did you say the day of that you arrived?
The day.
The day after you. The day you arrive in Thailand, your dad unexpectedly passes away.
Yeah.
Tell us what the fuck that was like and how the fuck you overcame that, man.
Well, yeah, without going into too much detail, I suppose it was basically while I was on the before I left actually, my dad wasn't replying to my text, and I thought, oh, you know, he's just, you know, he was ill and stuff. So I knew he was ill, but I didn't know to what extent he was ill. So he sort of wasn't answering my texts and stuff, and I was like, Dad, I'm literally leaving for Thailand today. Like, you know, can you know, I want to come see you and like, you know, maybe watch a film before I leave or something. I didn't reply, and I thought, oh, you know, I was just being a dickhead. And just, you know, typical of me because I didn't have a clue what was going on. And yeah, so I was like, oh, you know, whatever, I'll just go to Thailand. He'll message me when I'm here, and I can FaceTime him every day, and shit will be all good. And sort of, so I got on the plane, got to Dubai, and I messaged my sister, and my sister was like, you know, Dad's not replying to me either. And I was like, oh, you know, he's just asleep. He's just being his grumpy self. He'll chat to us when he's ready. And then I was like, oh no, maybe I started getting quite scared. And then on the way from Dubai to Thailand, I was on the plane, and I was a bit shook. I was like, oh shit, you know, maybe shit isn't as sound as it seems. And I got to Thailand, I was pretty shook in the taxi and stuff. I was like, oh God, you know, what's going on with him? I knew he was ill. I knew he was like, you know, it could have been one or the other. He could have either just been a grumpy bastard as always, or he could have just been, you know, something a bit more scary than that. So got to the hotel. My sister was basically like, look, FaceTime me. And I was like, oh God, this does not sound good. And then she, got the news over FaceTime literally the minute I got to this hotel. I was like, fuck's sake. So that really, really depressed me. But luckily I, you know, sort of, because I was so far from home, it didn't really hit me. Like, you know, I had a bit of a cry and stuff. But I went training the next day when I thought, you know, I was pretty proud of myself for doing it. But like I said, it wouldn't have, if I was in England, if I was back there, you know, I wouldn't have been able to cope with it as well, I don't think. But because I was so far from home, I sort of picked myself up and dusted myself off and went, no, fuck it, I'm going to go train, and sort of put it to the back of my mind. But yeah, that's basically how that all happened, which is pretty upsetting, but you know, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely fucking sucks, but again, like you said, it is what it is. What are you going to do, right?
Exactly.
Now, right when I kind of got on the call, I don't know what you and Eddie was talking about, but you was kind of talking about something like that, saying that you was kind of just getting through it, and you said something about you put a picture of him on the wall. Did you do that to, like, to inspire you, to get you to really like figure out what the fuck you're doing and remember why the fuck you're there?
Yeah. So essentially, when that happened, we were like, oh shit, you know what we're gonna do? I can't miss his funeral. Luckily, my girlfriend absolutely goddess that she is, she set up a GoFundMe page. Obviously, like I said, I'd just been saving money that I'd been getting for looking after my mum from the government. Like, you know, I didn't have a job. I was looking after my mum full time. She was like really, really ill. I had no money at all to get flights back to England and back to Thailand and flights here and there, because, you know, it's an £800 return, or around that, like £700-800 return. So she set up a GoFundMe page, and she basically all that. Like, luckily, I got a decent amount of money through that, which I was really, really happy. We applied for a loan as well, and she got that because she's a nurse and she earns like quite good money, so we're paying that back as well. But so eventually we booked our flight about 3 days before the funeral. No, booked our flights for 3 days before the funeral, and then went to the UK, sort of, you know, chilled with my sister, you know, attended the funeral and saw some friends and all that sort of stuff. And that was like a big shock, because obviously, like I said, when you're so far from home, it sort of doesn't seem real. And then you get back home and you're around, because when I'm here, before I went back home, I can't see my dad. If I wanted to, and I could, I still couldn't, if you know what I mean. And I got to England, and I was like, oh shit, now I really, really can't see him. So that upset me quite a bit. But when I got back to, so yeah, spent 3 days in England, attended the funeral, chilled with my sister, came back to Thailand with the money that we got from the GoFundMe page, and I was just depressed and horrible, and I felt, you know, I've left my sister alone, you know, I left my dad's daughter to just cope with her fiance, and I was just feeling really let my dad down for like not looking after my sister. And like I said, luckily I had an incredibly supporting girlfriend that helped pick me up, because like I said, for about a week I didn't go training at all. Felt like absolute shit, and then eventually I just thought, fuck it, I need to do this. Like, I'm here for a reason. I can't go back. I can't just head back to England. I can't just sit here and do nothing for 3 months. And then, yeah, like I said, I when I came back here from the funeral, I brought a picture of my dad, stuck it on the wall, and you know, set my alarm to, you know, I named it "Do It for Dad," like just as many things as I possibly could to remind myself of him and why I'm here. And that just spurred me on, and that gave me the drive to carry on doing what I'm doing.
That's fucking amazing, man. That's amazing. It's a really a good show of your character too, man, that you're able to take kind of a, like, literally kind of the fucking absolute worst case scenario that could have happened to you, and you're able to, like, in some movie-esque way, use it as motivation. And that's the only thing you can do with a situation like this too, man. It's the best possible thing that you could do. You're right. You could have sulked over it. You could have said fuck it and went home. You could have stayed there and been depressed. But, you know, not to sound fucking cheesy or corny, but that's probably not what your pops would have wanted. I'm sure exactly what the fuck you're doing. Stick it out, do what you came to do, and you know, do what you're doing, man. So good on you for not excuse to be a shitbird, because a lot of people would have.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right, now that we've gotten through all that, let's get to the good stuff, man. Let's get to the stuff that the martial arts heads might be interested in. How was the beginning of your training? So you know, we all got these little pussy ass, you know, kickboxing and Muay Thai gyms all across the UK and America and shit, but you're in the fucking thick of it, Jack. How intimidating was it going in there, being the only pale guy in the gym, knowing that you know that these cats are probably going to give you the beating that you need to learn? But what was that like, man? What was it like once you got over all that stuff and you got really into training and all like that? What was the first couple of weeks like with your training, man?
Oh, it was a killer. Like you're never used to the heat and the humidity. Like I said, an extreme weather condition for the UK is like 26 degrees, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, maybe like 78 or something. That's an extreme weather condition for the UK. And over here, average every single day is like 86 degrees Fahrenheit with ridiculous humidity. So that was something that's really, really hard to get used to. And like I said, I'd never trained for 4 hours a day before, like 2 hours from 8 till 10 a.m. and then from 4 till 6 p.m. Like, you know, the longest session I'd ever had in the UK was like an hour and a half.
Did you puke?
No, luckily I didn't. I didn't like properly kill myself, which is all good. Like, I attribute that to just my diet, though. Really, like if I didn't have a decent enough diet before I got here, I think I definitely would have been puking all over the place.
If he ate like the rest of us, he'd have been throwing up like a motherfucker. But he eats right.
Yeah.
He eats right, so it works out.
What do you mean by diet? Do you eat a clean diet?
Yeah, like totally clean. I don't eat any shit. Like I don't even think I've treated. Well, to be honest, I say I haven't treated myself. I see fruit as a treat. Like I haven't eaten any shit in well over like 13 months. Like I said, I eat vegan. I eat just I overeat to compensate, though, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but that's brilliant though. You're probably right. That probably helped you out tremendously with your body not going through a literal amount of fucking shock.
Exactly. Like, you know, I started losing weight last year. I was about 74 kilos. Like totally healthy. You know, I was eating this. Yeah, I lost about 40. Oh, to be honest, actually, no, I tell a lie. I got down to about 57.5 kilos, and I looked horrible. I looked terrible. And then I sort of realized, oh shit, I need to pick this up a bit. So I started eating more and just being a bit more healthy with it. And yeah, so I sit around 60 kilos now. And like I said, if I didn't concentrate on my diet and losing weight before I got here, half the time here would have been me concentrating on losing weight rather than actually concentrating on training.
Right. So that's one good thing. That's what I was going to say before. With it being hot as fuck, you don't really got to worry about your weight cut, right? You go for a slight fucking jog out in the jungle and you're good to go.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good thing about it. It's just, and the thing about where I am as well, like because I'm not in Bangkok or anything, like I don't even think I have to weigh in for my fight. It's we both agree on a weight, and if one of us doesn't like it on the day of the fight, we can say no, you know, I don't want to fight you, but I'm pretty sure we'll both be okay. Like, you know, I think Matey's about a kilo lighter than me. Yeah, I really like concentrate on what I eat and all that sort of stuff. So I haven't tipped over 61 kilos. And I've been gaining quite a bit of muscle since I've been here as well, which is decent.
So what would you say your progression has been like? You've only been there for 3 months, but from the first time you went into the gym till now, can you notice a difference in your kicking, your striking technique? I would imagine so, but and if so, where do you think you've made the most improvements, and where do you think your game still kind of lacks, and where do you need to focus on?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's early yet, but still.
Yeah, the difference is astronomical. It's ridiculous. Like when I got here, I couldn't do shit. Like I had like some fundamentals that my trainers in England taught me, like, you know, like a few things, but I was horrendous. Like my boxing was like not sloppy, but my boxing was sort of, you know, I'd leave myself open. I wouldn't be tight. I wouldn't be like strong on my stance. My knees are terrible. My elbows are terrible. I'd sort of throw myself off balance, just like the typical stuff that you do and
Sure.
the typical stuff that you could imagine perfecting while you're here. So I'm a knee fighter. So I'm quite happy with that because my knees have really improved. My elbows are really improved. So that's what I'm sort of aiming for. Like my roundhouse kick is pretty fucking terrible, if I'm honest. I'm just not flexible enough in my hips. So I've really improved in my boxing, my knees and my elbows. But yeah, my kicks are still horrendous.
I was going to say, man, I seen a picture of you and you're bony, which helps though with those knees and those elbows. Yeah. People don't think it, but when you're kind of skinny like that, them fucking elbows and knees hurt a lot. Look at Anderson Silva. He doesn't have a lot of muscle, but he's fucking bony. When he hits you with a knee or an elbow, you fucking feel it, man. So that is beneficial. Have you undergone any kind of like weird training methods where they like tried to strengthen your shins, or any kind of like weird like shit that maybe they might like special things that they do over in Thailand to get your skin and bones ready to fucking thump the shit out of somebody?
No, they don't really. Do you think just emphasize just kicking a bag hundreds and hundreds of times, just literally just kicking a heavy bag as much as you possibly can, just bruising your shins up, basically, just getting like. So far, I haven't sparred without shin guards, but it's really common in Thailand to just kick spar without shin guards, just to sort of condition your shins. But obviously, just because I'm like some pasty foreigner, they don't really want to like trust like the foreigners doing that, because that's more of like a Thai thing. But yeah, they just emphasize kicking a heavy bag as much as you can and kicking the pads as much as you can, just to condition your shins. And mine have definitely gotten stronger since I've been here, which is good.
Hey, we had a question on here from Jesse on YouTube, our boy Jesse, the guy from the show. He says, here's a question: Does Max feel like this fight will bring him respect from his gym, or does he feel like they have already accepted him?
They seem to, the people that come and go, the people that come for like a week or two, they concentrate on them. They give them as much tuition as they can, but they don't really focus on you, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because they know that I've been here for 3 months, and initially they knew I was gonna be here for 3 months. I think they tried to put quite a bit of effort into what I was doing. And the day I got here, obviously I told the gym owner that my dad died. I'd like to go to a temple, and like say goodbye to him and stuff. And initially, from that moment on, literally, yeah. That's a cool story, actually. The day I got here and I told him that my dad wanted to go to a temple, I was driven to Wat Chalong, which is like a really, like, the most famous temple in Phuket. I was driven to Wat Chalong by a 3-time Lumpini champ, like the gym owner. And that is just such an incredible story. Like, it's just the perfect story that I wish I could have told my dad. But yeah, from that moment on, they were emotionally invested in me, because they realized that, I don't know if it was sympathy, empathy, or whatever, but from the first day that I was here, they really like took me in as a friend as well as a student. So I'm thinking they really like me, and they like my company, and they like how happy and smiling I am as well. But I think after this fight, if win or lose, as long as I give it my all, I think they'll really like respect me.
Tell you what, I fucking do.
Yeah.
Take some goddamn stones and fly all the way to fucking Thailand and take a fight. I don't give a shit who you're taking it against. When did you know? We were talking about it briefly before we went live too. You said you don't know exactly who your opponent is yet, or?
Yeah. Like I said, I found out about maybe about a week and a half ago that I was fighting. About a week and a half ago that I was fighting. Maybe 2 weeks, something like that. And still don't know who I'm fighting. Like I said, I know his weight. I'm not too sure what gym he's from, but I know my trainers know him. But like I said, because of the language barrier, I can't really get much out of him. And I think they told me that he might be, I think he's southpaw like me, like I'm a right-handed southpaw. And I think he might be a southpaw like me as well. But yeah, so they're the only 2 facts I know about him, really. So I found out about 2 weeks ago. I found out who he was and what weight it was about 5 days ago. And that's about it.
Yeah, so as opposed to like our traditional, favorite sport of MMA, you're not going to be able to watch a bunch of fucking tape on this kid or know anything about him. So what's your fucking game plan with this? Like, what are you and your coaches working on? Just trying to kind of like focus on what you do well and impose that on him, and who gives a shit how he fights?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. That's like a lot of Muay Thai as well. Like they have a loose game plan, which is basically use what you're good at. And like I said, they're working a lot with me on like my knees, my elbows, the stuff that I'm already good at. They're trying to perfect. So so knees and elbows. My boxing's good, so they don't really. I mean, you don't really throw many punches in a Muay Thai gym anyway. You'll throw like a few, but it's mostly just like kicks, knees, elbows, and stuff like that. So I've been working on quite a bit of clinching as well, because obviously Westerners aren't really known for their strong clinching. So that I've been working as much clinching as I can, and just working on my strong points, working on my knees, how to get in like close with knees and stuff like that. General game plan is literally just be as far away as possible, but at a good distance without getting kicked in the head, and get inside without taking damage, basically.
Yeah, that's a good game plan. Not get your fucking head kicked off.
Exactly.
But it sounds like you're looking to operate in the clinch, though, close quarter with elbows and knees, and really kind of work that kind of game plan.
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. Like, I like number one because I'm quite good at them, and number two because obviously, as we all know, what my dad was like with elbows. That's what I want. That's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, yeah. You know your fucking pops would go ham if you finished the fight with a standing elbow.
Fuck yeah, he would.
Exactly.
Dude, he fucking when I was at UFC Phoenix, he kept hitting me up on Twitter. He start yelling elbows so I can hear you, and I would like yell it out. I was like, "Did you yell it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I think I heard you, but I'm not sure." I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" Fucking
Yeah, I was watching
comments.
that event with him.
Yo, did you? Were you? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking got a couple comments on YouTube here. Mike Jarves, our boy Mike, dropping in saying, "I got a lot of respect for Max to be able to tough it out under those circumstances, and we all do, man." And then Nick Pilecki's alive, making an appearance saying, "Being skinny helps. When I trained, I was as small as you, 130 pounds. Use the knees and elbows to your advantage." So you got you got someone that totally gets what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
So what's
yeah,
the plan for after this, Max? Do you is this just kind of like a personal journey conquest thing, or are you actually contemplating pursuing a fight career? Are you going to see how this shit goes, and if you thunderstrike this fool, then it's like, hey, maybe this is meant for me? Like, what does the future hold for Max Reed now after this fight, win, lose, or draw?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. I want to carry it on. Like, you know, I've ever since I've started watching Matt Sports and stuff, I've been, you know, it would be awesome to fight. Oh my God, it'd be amazing. But like I said, it was just pipe dreams to begin with. And now I've actually got this fight. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I can actually go further with it. So yeah, like you said, win, lose or draw, I do want to carry on doing what I'm doing. I didn't get any qualifications. You know, I didn't get any good grades in school, things like that. You know, I was a little dickhead. I, you know, got kicked out a few times, things like that. So, you know, I don't have many things going for me apart from, you know, I got good manners, and so far I'm pretty good at fighting. So that's I'm pursuing it.
Well, and you have a strong passion for it too, and a drive.
Yeah.
Just traveling the ways you did and being able to commit yourself to that type of lifestyle shows your passion for it, and that's fucking important, man. That's part of the journey. If you can just find something to do in life that you're actually passionate about it, fuck it, man. Even if you never become rich or famous, you're still doing better than most of us. You're able to do something that you enjoy for a living. That would be fucking awesome in its own right, period.
Yeah. So it's something I'd love to do. Like, you know, especially, you know, people think it's really, really hard. You know, people think like, oh my God, you know, you wake up this early, you know, you run 6 kilometers, then you go straight into a 2-hour training session, then you chill out for 6 hours, then you go into another 2-hour training session. People think it's so hard, and it's like, I'd rather be doing this than a 9 to 5. Right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not everybody's built the same way, man. And listen, the fighter lifestyle is kind of appealing for a lot of people. You train, bust your ass, and then you kick ass fucking a couple times a month, and you get paid. I'm thinking a lot of fucking worse jobs that have fucking digging ditches, Jack.
Exactly.
So let's see. What are we going to wrap up with here? What are you fighting at? What weight division are you fighting at?
60 kilos, 130 pounds is 130 pounds is probably maybe, well, the heaviest weight here is about 160 pounds. Anything above that is a heavyweight in Thailand. Yeah.
Okay. I feel you. So like,
yeah, so
around bantam flyweight, generally speaking, for our MMA type terms.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd be just between flyweight and bantamweight in MMA weight classes. But yes, it's the reason I lost all this weight last year was because I was like, you know, if I do, you know, like I said, pipe dreams, but I thought if I do fight, I want to fight competitively. I want to fight against, you know, I don't want to be that, you know, the typical fat foreigners that come here and fight other fat foreigners. I thought, you know, I want to keep my weight down, you know, just in case I do get a fight, and I want to fight someone that's good. I want to possibly fight a Thai, and luckily it's coming true.
Hell yeah, man! If you're gonna fucking do it right, Jack.
Exactly.
And so I've been following your gym on Instagram, and they actually had like one of those like stories or whatever. Are there a couple Americans there with you?
Yeah. About 2 weeks ago, there were 2 army guys They both won their fights by knockout. Actually, they were really, really nice guys. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was just saying, it was like, oh, there's more white people there. There you go. Sure, you're not totally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. That's the greatest thing about it, is meeting just these people from so many different countries that I never met before in my life. Like before in England, like I say, because England's just, you meet a few people, but they're usually from Europe and stuff. But I've met people from Brazil and Canada and North America, just everywhere in North America, everywhere in South America, plenty of places in Asia, Australia, just people met in England. But like I said, I'm always the pastiest person in the gym, though.
Okay, so when is your fight? And if anybody's watching, how can we actually catch this thing? Surely in the days of the interwebs, there's got to be, it's being shown somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's on 19th of May, so literally this Friday coming. And I think the stadium I'm fighting at, I don't know if it has Wi-Fi or not. It should do, but so my girlfriend or my fiance, she's either gonna live stream it on her Facebook, or the gym owner's wife, Nit, chances are she'll live stream it as well. But if my fiance can't, then I'm pretty certain that the gym owner's wife will. And that'll all be on Facebook. I'm pretty sure that's public and stuff like that. So if you just type in Ratachai Muay Thai on Facebook, it'll come up.
Could you spell that for dummies like me that would never know how to spell that?
Oh yeah. It's RATTACHAI.
Okay, there you go.
Hey,
So
real
just
quick,
look that up.
hey, girlfriend turned into fiance real quick. When did that happen?
Yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, I didn't even mention that. Like where basically I got my dad's mum's ring, my dad's mum's engagement ring, or when I went back for his funeral, and I took it back to Thailand. Like it was like all secretive and stuff like that. And then, like I said, we went to Big Buddha, which is like a really, really high point in Phuket, and it's got like this huge, like however many. A couple, 100-foot Buddha statue or something like that, and you can see like all of Phuket. And then I took her to there, and luckily she said yes, which is all good. And it was with my dad's, it was my grandma's ring and stuff like that. So that was quite nice.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Congratulations, dude. You guys have set a date and anything, or are you gonna wait? You're gonna wait till you get back to figure that out?
Yeah, I was gonna say I need a damn house before I get married.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to get a lot. You got to get your ducks in order, son. Damn.
Living out the suitcase.
I'm saying.
Exactly.
Okay, so then listen, anybody who's watching who wants to catch this fight next Friday, May 19th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, May 19th. It will be here. I'll probably be fighting anywhere between 8 and 10 p.m. So I think that's, is it an 11-hour time difference between here and the East Coast, or a 12-hour time difference?
It's about 12, so it'd be about 8, 9, 10 in the morning, East Coast, and pretty early on the West Coast.
Yeah, I work at 4 a.m., dude. I'll be awake. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but we'll share it too, man. Let us know, and we'll get the links, and then if you can't find the gym or whatever, just find me or Eddie on Facebook or Twitter. And we'll make sure we get this link out so that people can tune into your first fight, man, and we'll see what's doing with it.
Awesome, thank you, Pat. I'll make sure that I get a link. Like I said, it'll either be on the gym's official page, or it will be on the gym owner's wife's page, Nit. I'm pretty sure she's public as well, so anyone should be able to tune in and watch it. But I can't wait. I'm confident without being overly confident. I'm excited and I'm feeling strong.
Well, listen, good luck. And before we let you go, man, I want to do some quick hits with you because we haven't talked to you for a while and shit. So we're going to get a couple things quickly before we let you go. Hey, we haven't had no fucking fights on for a long time. So I'm sure all of our MMA brethren that might be watching this are fiending for some fights. There's some big fights tonight. Quickly, before we let you go, Stipe Miocic and JDS, who you got?
That is such a tough one. I love Stipe when he's fighting anyone else, and I love JDS when he's fighting anyone else. But they're both nice guys, so I'm just gonna have to go with the person that I think is just a little bit nicer. So I'm gonna go with Junior. And Andy was sort of the first heavyweight that I really, really, really liked in the UFC as well. So I'm gonna go with Junior.
All right. I didn't go on the show last night, so I'm going to go ahead and give my prediction. I have to go with Stipe because he's from fucking Cleveland. It's an Ohio thing. I got to go with him. But I tell you what, a lot of people think that Junior's washed up. I don't buy that at all. I think he's still extremely dangerous. And win, lose, or draw, that's going to be a fun fucking fight. I think we can all agree to that.
Shit.
Co-main. Who you got in the co-main?
Oh, see, once again, this is a really scary one as well. This is definitely someone that can dethrone Joanna as well. But I'm going to have to go with Joanna for just purely for Muay Thai reasons and subliminally because my dad loved her. So I'm going to go for Joanna.
You know, that's funny because Andy picked Jessica Andrade because he had like a bad feeling that Joanna had let her success get to her head. So remember that?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Very, very interesting fight. I agreed with Andy too. I picked Andrade. I just think that Johanna is, everybody loses, man. Everybody loses. If you lose an ounce of that drive, you could possibly lose. I think it just might be that time.
Yeah, she doesn't look as mean as she does.
Yeah. Once you're it's like the Connor thing, Once you're on them boats and them yachts, man, it's hard to be as driven and determined.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna let you go here in 1 second, but before we let you go, I'm curious because we all know that you're a big movie buff. Have you watched any films since you've been over there? And before you go, give us a film that all of the uncultured cocksuckers watching this show can go watch and get a little culture in their life.
Oh god, I've watched so many, but I'm a proper film snob. So I literally, if it's a really, really like visually like arresting film, I won't watch it on a laptop. I'm that much of a sad act. I've watched so many though. I haven't seen Logan yet though. I want to see Logan.
What's the best film you've watched recently? What's the best movie you've watched in I don't know, since the beginning of 2017? The best movie you've seen?
Oh, genuinely, surprisingly, actually, I usually hate this bloke, but Split by M. Night Shyamalan was actually really, really good. So if anyone's never watched Split, I definitely recommend that.
All right, there you go. M. Night Shyamalan. I usually can't stand that boy, but if you say it's a good movie, I'm gonna fucking go with it.
It's genuinely good. I watched the Evil Dead remake as well, which was actually surprisingly good considering I'm a snob with that and I love the original Evil Dead. But yeah, the Evil Dead remake, that's on Netflix. Watch that. That's a good one.
That's interesting. I think I'll check that out. I like the original Evil Dead too. So
yeah. But yeah, the remake's actually seriously good.
Yeah, it's funny. Nick Pilecki goes, Split was dope as fuck. Apparently he likes it too.
Agreed.
There you go, boys. It's unanimous. Split. M. Night Shyamalan's next fucking hit.
All right. Anything else you want to throw out there?
No, I think that does it, man. Max, if you want to throw out your Twitter or any kind of information where people can follow you and kind of follow your journey, since you're the heir to king you're the next John Wayne Parr, man. You're the great white hope.
That's what I'm aiming for. Yeah. My Twitter is just Max94Reed, READ. I feel strange doing that because my dad was like, "Don't follow me on Twitter." Never. You know what he was like. But yeah, Max94Reed. I'm tweeting about my fight as much as possible. I'm tweeting about my training. I'm setting my Facebook to public as well, so I'll probably like tweet a link out to that and stuff. And like, yeah, you can follow me on that and just see how everything's going. Hopefully, I don't get KO'd in the first round. Like I said, I'm confident without being overly confident. So I think that's a good stance to be. Win or lose, I can't end up looking like a dickhead. So it's all good.
Absolutely. Great attitude to have.
All right, man.
All right, man. Well, thanks for taking the time. I know it's late over there, Eddie. I know it's super early over there. So thanks for making this happen, guys. We'll definitely tune into the fight. And listen, after your fight, win, lose, or draw, even if you do get knocked out in the first round, come back and tell us what it was like going over to the afterworld.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, happily. Yeah. Thanks for having me as well. Like, thanks for waking up so early for it as well. Like,
no problem, Max. We'll talk to you soon, brother. All right, buddy. Later, man.
All right, brother. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you guys coming on to hear the young Reed story. Look, man, we love this guy. So you can come on whenever you want for sure. Of course, you can follow Fred at Kirby_MMA. Follow me at Elot31. Page at CrossBonesMMA, and of course at the MMA Advocates, and reptheadvocates.com. Get yourself some gear. And yeah, so for everybody else here,
share this fucking video. If you're watching right now, if you're watching, share it on your Twitter. I'm fucking unfriending you if we don't see a fucking retweet on this shit, you cocksmokers.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day. Good night, Wilshire.